So I have 4 to 5 problems based on trend. I think that is more than enough for Npsc or Nssb. Let's try those questions. I'll just explain some formulas here. When we solve a problem based on trend, then always remember the distance traveled will always be equal to the length of the train. The distance will be equal to the length of the train. Earlier when we were solving circular track, distance was equal to the length of the circular track, but in train problem, distance will be equal to the length of the train. If there is only one train, then the distance will be L only. But if there is two trains, then it will be L1 plus L2. So let me explain that with the formulas that we have here. Or let me just write properly here. This distance is equal to length of train. When a moving train crosses a standing person, so whenever a train is crossing as a person, a tree, or an electric pole or anything, in that case the formula will be just speed timing distance formula, which is speed is equal to the length of the train divided by time. Remember that. It may be standing person, it may be a tree, or it may be a pole as well, or electric poles, or many things will be given. So in that case we use this formula. But if in the question a moving train crosses a platform or a tunnel or a bridge or another train, in that case the distance will be the length of the first train or the length of the train plus the length of the second train or the length of the platform. So this L2 will be nothing but it will be a platform, or it can be a tunnel, or it can be a bridge, or it can be another train as well. Always remember that. That means the first one, L1, is nothing but the length of the train, the first train, and the L2 is nothing but it can be the length of the platform, or it can be the length of the tunnel, or it can be the length of the bridge, or the length of the train, another train. Okay. What if there was two moving objects? That means a man is running at a certain speed and a train is traveling at a certain speed in the same direction. The formula is this one. You don't need to memorize so much formula. You just grab the concept of relative speed. Same direction means there is minus, opposite direction means there is plus. Every formula is same direction and opposite direction. So you don't need to memorize much. Just remember the length, the distance will always be equal to the length of the train. If there is two trains, that means the length of both the train. Just that. You don't need to memorize every formula. I'm just giving you for reference here, okay? So now with that in mind, let's start to solve some questions here. Find the time taken by a train of 180 meter long. That means the distance here is how much? 180. Because the distance is equal to the length of the train. So the length of the train is how much? 180 meter long. So which means it is a distance here. Running at a speed of this one. That means the speed here is given as 72 kilometer per hour. Like I told you earlier, we need to convert this one to meter per second. So which means 72 into 5 by 18, 18 4, which means it is 20 meter per second. It's our speed. And it is crossing an electric field, electric post. So which means that one is, the train is crossing an electric pole. And we also find the time taken. So it's an easy question. Time taken is equal to distance by speed, and distance is 180. Why? Because there's only one train, so which means 180 here, and the speed is how much? Speed is 20. So reduce this one, which is time is nothing but 2 9 are 18, 9 seconds. So the time taken by a train to cross an electric pole is nothing but 9 seconds. So it's an easy one, I guess. The train length is this one, and traveling at the speed of this one. So the distance is nothing but the length of the train only, and the speed is nothing but it is given in kilometer per hour. We need to get it in meter per second, so that's the reason why I'm multiplying by 5 by 18. And next thing is distance by speed is nothing but time. So put the value, get the answer. That's how easy it is to solve trend problem. Let's try one more question here. What if the question was like this? A train of 100 meter long, I'll just extract data one at a time. The distance is equal to 100 meter, running at a speed. That means the speed is given as this one. That means I'll just write S1. Running at a speed of 70 kilometer per hour. In what time will it pass a man who is running at a speed of 10 kilometer per hour in the same direction? So I'll just write the speed 2. Speed 2 is how much? 10 kilometer per hour. So when there is two moving objects, that means the train is running as well as the man is also running. So in that case, when there's two running objects, then in that case we find relative speed. And in order to find relative speed, we need to know whether they are traveling in the opposite direction or same direction. In this case, the question says they are traveling in the same direction. If same direction, then relative speed is equal to, same direction means minus, right? So 70 minus 10, which is equal to 60 kilometer per hour. But remember, we need to convert it to meter per second. So which means 60 into how much? 5 by 18. Shall I keep it this way? I'll just keep this one as it is, and I can reduce it, or 6 3s are 18, 6 10s are 60. So which means I'll have it as 50 divided by 3 meter per second. That is the relative speed. Now that we have everything, by the formula of distance, speed, time, and distance, which is distance here, speed here, time here, we need to find what is it? The time taken. Yeah, what time? So which means we need to find time here. Time is equal to, what is it? By this formula, we need to find time, then it is distance by speed. So time is equal to, distance is how much? Distance is 100 meter, because the length of the train only, because we are comparing it with a man. So which means the length will be still, the distance will be 100, and the speed will be how much? Speed will be 50 divided by 3 meter per second. If you look here, we have a fraction in the denominator, so I've done earlier as well. We need to write it how? Reciprocal of this one, 3 by 50. So 50 ones are 52s are. That means the time will be 2 3s are 6 seconds. So time here is nothing but 6 seconds. Yeah, please go through. If you have doubts, clarify. You can ask your question. Any doubts here? Yes, no? Clear? Okay, I'll move on to next, okay, if you don't have any doubts. Since we are running out of time, it's already 1.5 hours. I'll start with this one now. Two trains traveling in the same direction. So the condition here is we have two trains here. That means we have two things. I will have L1 and I'll have L2. Because the distance now will be L1 plus L2. Traveling in the same direction, I'll just highlight this one. Traveling in the same direction at the speed of this one and this one. That means both the trains have different speed. Completely passes each other in 1 minute. If the length of the first train is this one, the length of the second train. For this one, for you guys to understand, let me just write the formula here once. Since they are traveling in the same direction, what is it? Same direction, relative speed was speed 1 minus speed 2. Same direction, so which means subtraction, equal to, since we have two trains, that means the formula was the distance will be length of the first train plus length of the second train divided by the time taken. If you look at this one, you see that you have this value and you have the length of the first train and you have the time. So which means you can find this value easily. So I'll just do that. Now let me find the relative speed first. That will be much more better. I'll just extract the data here. The length of the first train is 125 meter and the length of the second train I don't know. So I'll just keep it as a question mark. And the time is how much? 1 minute. So remember, whenever we are doing time train problem, we need to get our answer in terms of meter per second. So I'll convert 1 minute to second, which is 60 seconds. In 1 minute, there is 60 seconds. So we know that directly I'm just converting it to 60 seconds there. And speed 1 is how much? Speed 1 is 40 kilometer per hour, and speed 2 is how much? 22 kilometer per hour. So what will happen is that relative speed, if they are, what is it? They are traveling in the same direction. That means I need to subtract their values. So 40 minus 22, how much is it? 40 minus 22 is 18, I guess. 8 and 1, yeah. 18 kilometer per hour. So if we have 18 kilometer per hour, if I want to convert it to meter per second, what do we do? I just need to multiply it by 5 by 18. 5 by 18. So which means 18 cancel, which means our relative speed here is 5 meter per second. So now let's get back to the question here. We have this relative speed s1 minus s2, which is 5 meter per second. And the length of the first train is how much? 1, 2, 5. And we don't know the length of the second train. So which means I'll just give it as L2 only. And the time here, we got it as how much? 60 seconds. Earlier it was 1 minute, but we need to get our answer in terms of meter per second. That's the reason why I converted it to 60 seconds. So let's, if I want to transfer this denominator to the other side, it will go in numerator, right? So 5 into 60 is equal to 125 plus the length of the second train. So 5 into 60 is how much? 300. 6 5s are 30 and 0 here. And if I transfer this 25, remember whenever there is no sign in front of the number, then there is a plus sign there. Always remember that. There's a plus sign there. So if I transfer this plus sign to the other side, it will be minus 125, which is equal to the length of the second train. So if I subtract this 2, then minus 5 is 5, and 9 minus 2 is 7, and what is it? 2 minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1. So which means the length of the second train is nothing but 175 meter. Okay. So that's the answer there. Please go through. If you have doubts, you can clarify. It's an interesting question. I think we are just left with only one question, I guess. Oh, wow. There's lots of questions here. I think you can clarify with this question. Let's go to this question. Two trains of length, this one and this one. So the length of 125 meter and 150 meter in length. That means we have two trains. L1 is 125 and L2 is 115. So which means the distance will be L1 plus L2. So L1 is how much? 125. L2 is how much? 115. The length of the first train plus the length of the second train will be the distance, because we have two trains here. So 5 plus 5 is 0, 1 in hand. 2 plus 1 is 3, 4. And 240. 240 meter is the distance. Since we have two trains of length 125 meter and 115 meter, the distance will be the length of the first train plus length of the second train. So which means the total distance here is 240 meter. That is number one. Number two thing is they are running towards each other. That means they are running towards each other, which simply means what? They are traveling in the opposite direction, running towards each other. So if a train is running towards this one and this one, that means they are running in the opposite direction. That's what you mean. At 30 kilometer per hour and 39 kilometer per hour. So which means we have a relative speed here. Relative speed of how much? Speed 1 is equal to 33 kilometer per hour, and speed 2 is equal to how much? 39 kilometer per hour. We have two things. One is speed 1 and speed 2. And if they are traveling in the opposite direction, what do we do? If they are traveling in the opposite direction, relative speed was what? Speed 1 plus speed 2, right? So 33 plus 39. Why 33 plus 39? Because they are traveling in the same opposite direction. So now let's find the sum. 9 plus 3 is 12, and 3 plus 3 is 6 and 7. 72 kilometer per hour. Most of the time in train problem or in a circular track problem, you will see 72 often. Okay, always remember that 72 is nothing but 18 times 4. Then you solve your answer faster. I'll convert it to meter per second since this is kilometer per hour. So if I am to convert it to meter per second, multiply it by 5 by 18. So 18 into 4. So which means we have 4 5s are 20 meter per second. After solving for maybe 10 20 questions, you will just looking at the question. If it is 72 kilometer per hour, you can directly say that, oh, this is 20 meter per second. You can say like that, okay, later. after practicing for around 10 questions. I think that's more than enough to you say this one. We have relative speed is this one, distance is this one. What's the formula? Y formula, distance, speed, and time. So what was it? What do we need? We need to find how much time. That means the time here is nothing but distance divided by speed. So what is the distance here? 240. What is the time here? Oh, I mean, what is it? What is the speed here? Relative speed is 20. So 0, 0 cancel. 2 1 are 2, 2 2 are 4. So time here is 12 seconds. So the answer here is 12 seconds. So this one, the time taken is nothing but 12 seconds. Are we clear with this? Distance is nothing but the length of the two trains. That means length of the first one plus second one, which is 240 here. And the speed is nothing but we need to use relative speed, and they are traveling in the opposite direction. So I'm using plus and converting it to meter per second. We got it as 20. If we reduce this one, we get our time as 12 seconds. Any doubts here? I think we're clear with this. Directly formula based only. We're left with two questions. I'll end with that. Two trains starting from a certain place on two parallel tracks at the same direction. Actually, it's just the basic Formula One only. Okay, you remember how relative speed is working, then it's fine. You know how, you remember how relative speed is working, and everything is based on this one: speed, time, and distance. Relative speed and the distance is the length of the train only. Two trains of 150 meter each. Okay, there's two trains which is of length 150 meter and 150 meter. So which means length 1 is equal to 150 meter and length 2 is also equal to 150 meter, because two trains each of 150 meter long. That's what it means. So I have first train is 150 meter and the second train is 150 meter. They are moving in the opposite direction. Opposite direction means if they are opposite direction, their relative speed will be sum, right? So relative speed will be nothing but speed 1 plus speed 2, since they are traveling in the opposite direction. Crosses each other in 6 seconds. So time is given now. Time is 6 seconds. If one of the train is moving 1 by 2 times faster than the other, then the speed in kilometer per hour of the slower train. Okay. I'll just assume something here. Let me just, I'll derive this one, okay? One of the train is moving at 1 by 2 times faster than the other. So what I'll do is I'll do like this. The speed of A is nothing but 1 by 2 times of the second one. That's what the question says. The speed of the one train, that means one train, I'll assume it as A, is, this was asked in Npsc, okay, 1 by 2 times faster than the other train. That's what it means. So now I'll just simplify this one. Whenever you have a mixed fraction, you multiply the numerator and the side one and plus this one. 2 ones are 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 2 into b. With this one, I'll find the ratio. Okay, ratio means a divided by b. If I transfer this p from numerator to the other side, it will go into denominator, which is equal to 3 by 2. So according to this one, according to this ratio, the speed of the first train is this one and the speed of the second train is this one. That's what it means. And I've told you when we were doing ratio and proportion, if you're solving the question in terms of algebraic approach, you need to assume along with x. So I'll just write, let the speed of A is equal to 3x and the speed of second one, speed of, what is happening here? Speed of second one is, speed of B is nothing but 2x. I am assuming that the speed of A is 3x here and the speed of B is 2 times something, so which means 2x here. That's what I've assumed. Let's write the formula. Formula was we need to find what? Speed. So I'll just write the formula here. Distance, speed, time. Speed is equal to distance by time. Speed, we are talking about relative speed because we have two moving objects. So relative speed, since you are traveling in the opposite direction, speed is how much? Speed 1 plus speed 2. They are traveling in the opposite direction. That's the reason why I'm using plus here. Equal to distance is what? We have two trains here, length 1 and length 2. Length 1 plus length 2 divided by the time. So now, what do we have? We have everything in terms of meter second. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll do like this. I'll find the value of x. How? I'll just put everything in the formula here. Shall we find L1 plus L2 directly here? L1 plus L2 is nothing but 150 plus 150, which is equal to 300 meter. Okay. So speed 1, uh, speed 1 is this one, and speed 2 is this one. This is equal to S1, and this one is equal to S2. The speed of the first train is nothing but 3x, and the speed of the second train is nothing but 2x, equal to the length of the first train plus second train is nothing but 300 meter, and divided by the time. How long? The time is given as in 6 seconds. That means they are crossing each other in 6 seconds, which means the time here is nothing but 6 seconds. So the time here is 6 seconds. It is given in the question. So time is 6 seconds. So let's solve this one. 3x plus 2x is 5x, which is equal to 6 5s are 30, which means 50 here. So x here is nothing but, if I transfer this 5x to the other side, it will be in the denominator, which means 50 divided by 5, which is equal to 10. Our x value is equal to 10. That's what we have. But remember, that is only the value of x. Now what do we need to find? We need to find the speed of the slower train. So speed of the slower train is how much? A is 3 times x and B is 2 times x. That means slower one is B, right? The slower one is B. So speed of B is nothing but how much? 2 times of x. 2 times of x is how much? 2 times of x value is 10, which means 20 meter per second. I think we were asked to find in terms of kilometer per hour. Okay, it's a lengthy one. So we are asked to find in terms of kilometer per hour. So let's convert it to kilometer per hour. No worries. Into how much? If you're converting from meter per second to kilometer per hour, it is 18 by 5, right? 5 4s are 20, which means 4 8s are 32, 272 kilometer per hour is the answer here. So we have option 72, yes. So the answer here is this one. I'll repeat again for the last time and we'll wrap up here for tonight. There's two trains of same length, 150 meter. So the length of the first one is 150 and the length of the second one is 150. So the distance here will be the length of the first one plus length of the second one, which is 150 plus 150, which is equal to 300 meter. That's what we have. Now, the time taken here, it is given as 6 seconds because they cross each other in 6 seconds. And the second part is they are traveling in the opposite direction. If opposite direction means the relative speed is S1 plus S2, right? Relative speed, opposite direction, we need to sum their speed. And this, it is said that one of the train is moving at 1 by 2 times faster than the other. That means the one of the train is, that means I'm just assuming one of the train is A, is traveling at 1 by 2 times multiplication of the other speed. So this here, A is equal to, if we simplify this one, 2 1s are 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 2 into B. So if I transfer this B to the other side, it will go in the denominator. A by P is equal to 3 by 2. Remember, this one is nothing but, this is the speed ratio. This is a speed ratio of A and B. A means A is the first trend and B is the second trend here. Now I need to solve algebraically. That's the reason why I'm assuming the speed of A is 3x and the speed of B is 2x. Now 3x is nothing but speed 1 and speed 2 is nothing but 2x. By the formula we had is relative speed is speed 1 plus speed 2 because they are traveling in the opposite direction, and the distance is nothing but we have two trains, so which means the length of the first train plus the length of the second train and divided by time here. Now the speed 1 is how much? 3x, we have it from here, and speed 2 is how much? 2x, we have it from here. So if we sum this one, the length of the two trains sum is nothing but 300, and the time taken it is given as 6 seconds, so which means 6 seconds here. So we reduce it to 3x plus 2x is 5x, and I'm transferring this 5 to the other side, it will go in the denominator, so which means if we reduce this one, x value we are getting it as 10. Then, so which means if we have our x value is 10 here, then so that's the reason why I'm using 2 times x here. 2 times of x here is 10, so which means the speed here is 20 meter per second. But in our question we are asked to find in terms of kilometer per hour, so that's the reason why I'm multiplying by 18 by 5. So if we simplify this one, we get it as 72 kilometer per hour, which is our answer. Yeah, that's all for tonight.